New Mexico has struggled with the biggest wildfires in our history in the last few years, and few places have seen more devastating impacts than at Santa Clara Pueblo. In 2011, the Las Conchas fires swept through a sacred canyon on the Pueblo and destroyed 80% of the watershed for the village. Then came destructive monsoon floods. Producer Kathleen McCleary offers this update on the Pueblo's efforts to rebuild, which was recently featured on the national PBS program, The NewsHour.
For more than 1,200 years, the people of Santa Clara Pueblo, a Native American village, have cherished their canyon.
This is our sanctuary, our spiritual sanctuary.
The canyon is home. It's part of our home.
Today it accounts for 3/4 of their 50,000-acre reservation northwest of Santa Fe. Unlike many Native Americans who are assigned to reservations, the people of Santa Clara have always lived here. But their canyon, considered sacred, is now off limits because it's being repaired after multiple devastating fires and floods.
New video tonight of the flames from the Las Conchas fire.
In June 2011, the Las Conchas fire blasted through the canyon. It was a blaze Matthew Tafoya, now acting director of the Pueblo's forestry department, remembers well.
The first day of the fire, it was burning about 1 acre per second.
Eventually, flames destroyed more than 150,000 acres in the state, including 17,000 on Santa Clara lands. 80% of the Pueblo's watershed was ruined. That set the stage for trouble just a few weeks later.
The soil baked and became hydrophobic. So when the first rains hit that, there was nowhere for the rains to soak into the ground. It was basically just running off the sides of the hills and the mountains.
The summer monsoon rains brought fast-moving and dangerous floods. The water carved deep chasms in the creek bed. It destroyed the road, the ponds, and the spillways that were supposed to protect the area downstream. Some of the most dramatic video was taken by the Pueblo governor, J. Michael Chavarria.
Because there was large boulders, large whole trees, part of what they call floatable debris. And once that floatable debris comes closer to Santa Clara, start impacting homes along the stream channel.
With all the devastation, repairs have gone on for years. It's still too dangerous for tribe members to go into the canyon. We were among the few, besides work crews, allowed to go there. Amid the debris are the remains of cabins once rented to campers and fishermen, and that source of revenue is gone. And there's the constant worry of even more damage every time it rains. Maps done by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers show a major flood could wipe out the whole village. Matthew Tafoya's home is one of about 340 that could be harmed. He's had to evacuate his wife and children several times. Naomi Tafoya tries to be prepared and not panic.
What if we do lose stuff? What if our house is damaged? What if we lose our home? You know, not knowing what are we gonna do with the kids? What are we gonna do? You can't live in constant fear, but you do have that in the back of your mind that, what if this is the one?
Santa Clara is fighting back. With help from an alphabet soup of federal agencies, contractors are building earthen berms and placing wire baskets full of dirt and rocks. In the canyon, there's a new road. Workers have piled trees and rocks and stabilized the banks of the creek. Solar-powered gauges will issue warnings if waters rise. Wire fences originally designed for avalanches in the Alps are being installed to hold back debris.
It's almost like a metal fence going across the tributary. And that's to catch the sediment and the debris coming out of those tributaries and allow the clear water to pass.
I'd like to help repair it.
Individuals have stepped up too. Sculptor Roxanne Swensel is best known for her rounded figures of Native American women. She's started a nonprofit organization to collect seeds from native grasses, trees, and shrubs to plant someday in the canyon.
If I can get a variety of species that are indigenous to this landscape to be put back into the canyon, that would be my hope.
It all takes money. 5 federal disaster declarations have brought government dollars, along with an estimate of $150 million in infrastructure damage. The Pueblo must match a percentage of that. So far, they've spent about $5 million, but believe they need to come up with $40 million or more. They aren't a wealthy tribe. They run a small casino, hotel, and golf course. They rely on tourists visiting the prehistoric Puyi Cliffs where tribal ancestors lived. But, says the governor, they're actively looking for grants from foundations and others, and meanwhile, to fund repairs in the canyon, he faces tough decisions to cut back elsewhere.
We're taking away from our social services programs of our community, from grandma, grandpa, from our Head Start program, the day school. And so we are taking a lot away from those and putting it into this larger pot of emergency monies now.
These natural disasters aren't unique to Santa Clara, of course. The fire season in the West is 3 months longer than it was just 40 years ago. And the number of fires on federal lands is not only increasing, but more destructive than ever.
The effect of climate warming has been felt most everywhere.
Geologist Grant Meyer at the University of New Mexico cites several factors for the uptick in fires, including forestry practices that aggressively stamp out fires instead of allowing them to burn naturally.
What we've had is the combination of warmer temperatures that dry out the forest more quickly, that makes drought more severe, combined with very dense forests, and create these conditions where entire watersheds can generate floods.
It will take generations to repair the wounds caused by the most recent fires and floods.
We had a lot of trees in the range of 200 to 300 years old. So it's going to take 200 to 300 years from now to really come back to how it was pre-fire.
If the young people of Santa Clara can't experience the canyon, elders like Sheriff Regis Chavarria fear they will never truly understand and appreciate their heritage.
I have a 6-year-old daughter who has never been to the canyon yet. And I also have almost a 1-year-old grandson and a 1-year-old granddaughter who have never seen the canyon. They never will see what we were shown by our grandparents.
We are an endangered community, and so, like an endangered species, there are only 2,500 of us in the whole world. So if some of us are lost, that has a great impact on continue our livelihood into the future.